So welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to learn about the electrophysiology and the pros and cons of the new technology that is coming under the electrophysiology, whether it would be EKG, ECG, and it would be cardiac electrophysiology, and it would be neurophysiology. Okay, so now we will start with the basic definition of electrophysiology. That what is electrophysiology? So, electrophysiology is the branch of physiology that studies the electrical properties of biological cells and tissues. So, it focuses on electrical signals and electrical signals that are generated and propagated in the body, particularly in the nervous system of the heart and nervous system and the heart. And whether if we will talk about the diseases, then it would be arrhythmia and epilepsy and other neurological disorders. Electrophysiology has wide range of uses in both research and clinical settings. So here are the conditions given, like arrhythmias and epilepsy and other neurological disorders, which could be seen by EKG, ECG techniques. And if we talk about electrophysiology, and it has wide range of uses in both research and clinical settings. And now we will learn about the cardiac electrophysiology, under which we will learn about the diagnosis, treatment, and cardiac mapping and catheter ablation. And following are the basic branches of cardiac electrophysiology and provide precise information about heart rhythms. So now we will learn about it. Okay. So now we are on cardiac electrophysiology, diagnosis and treatment of arrhythmias, cardiac mapping, and catheter ablation. It provides precise information about heart rhythms. Minimally invasive techniques available can guide interventions that improve patient outcomes. Depolarized from central part and moving outward, this is a basic debridation of, or we can say definition of a cell, of a heart cell, myocyte, in which the cell is depolarized, or all the negative charge are in between, and it lies by the positive charges. Here we see the positive charges around the negative charges, and this kind of cell, which is negative or depolarized from inner part and polarized from outer part, and here we can say that it is polarized. So it will be polarized cell in which the electron separation may take place from inner part to the outer part. That may decide on the basis of the cell whether it is a depolarizing state or polarizing state, according to the heartbeat, according to the PQRST beats that resides in the ECG, and we will talk about it later. And here we are on neurophysiology. Neurophysiology as a study of nerve function, diagnosis of neurological disorders, epilepsy, neuropathies, and brain-computer interfaces. Brain-computer interfaces is a new technology derived by reading of brain impulses, or the excitation given by pre-neurotic cells, and the investigating cellular mechanism and studying. So now we are on research and applications, investigating cellular mechanisms, studying drug effects on ion channels, and exploring neural networks, which we have talked about this. Now we are on electrophysiological testing, assessing the functions of muscle and nerves. Here EMG now conducting studies are conducted, but now we will talk about ECG, EKG, and here normal ECG patterns. We will, as we know till now, as we learn in physiology, here the baseline resides, which gives the P, Q, R, S, and T waves, which are regular in their interfaces and comes in a rhythm in a healthy person, and which in here as node gives the impulse to the rest of the heart, and from here it goes all through the here to AV node. Okay, so upper and lower deflections of ECG are given here, and P wave is a P wave here. In P wave, extra potential comes of on SN node and sending pulse to heart. The inner part becomes positive and outer part becomes negative, which is depolarization, which we are seeing here. The inner part is part is polarized and outer part is negative, which gives a depolarization state to the heart, in which the ventricles are polarized, and the ventricle part is depolarized, which leads to the contraction, and injection of blood will be followed and will lead to polarization of heart, which is seen here after PQRS, and here in T state it goes to the polarization state, in which the inner part of the that surrounds the ventricles goes on depolarization state, which is a uh, negative polarization, and here on the outer part it gives the positive polarization, which gives a polarizing state, and the polarization of heart wall, which leads to the other contraction, will be followed by the PQRST similar deflation of ECG. But here we are talking about ischemia and disorders, so we will learn about the abnormal heart ECG or EKG. And here the main thing is the vector should go from negative to positive pulse. Means the if the pulse is generating from negative to positive vector, then it should go in this way. It is a normal way. It should go from here in this way. But in arrhythmia it will go in other dimension, which we will talk now. So let's take an example of arrhythmic heart. Here, if we take this star as a main base point where all the problems started, here the arrhythmia occurs in a heart. So it will be a other stood heart wall of body of a heart body, other than this full part. Okay, so it is the injured area. So if now we talk about PQRST deflation, in this wave, P P wave will be untouched, and it will be as as same as before if we seen a healthy person ECG. But in QRST, where the heartbeat resides, the depolarization heart will be constructed by this injured area, which leads to the, as we know, the potassium and sodium pump maintaining hyperpolarization state, which leads to the 3 potassium and 2 sodium ions, leading to the uh, performed state of a heart wall, which we call myocytes. But here it is interrupted by this injured area, so the depolarization state will be interrupted by not production of ATP, which leads to the which leads to depolarized state. So in this depolarized state, the negative ions will come out and the positive ions will reside inner side, which leads to the constriction, and in a constriction which is not interrupted. So in PQRS, then it will reside on the another plane. This is a normal plane, but it resides here on other plane. So the T state, which is the relaxation, will comes on some time or more time, which will take more time. And in ECG, in this vector, in this no, as I talked further about the vector policy of a normal person, the vector should go from from negative to positive in this plane, as this diagram is given. This is a normal plane, normal vector. But here their polarization is going from here to here. As we see now, the plus sign is here and the negative sign resides here because the depolarization is taking place. So minus, we can take is minus. So it is going from this negative part to this positive part, which is colored here. So it will go like in this plane, which is an opposite plane, right? So this opposite plane is the main problem of an ischemic. So this vector is the main problem, which is this vector under the ECG observed by the doctors is the main problem for an ischemic disordered person. And in ECG, the most important function is the vector should go to the positive plane, positive direction, and that foci of injury means this foci of injury is causing the vector opposite to the this normal plane, which is going in another direction. So we learn now that the electrophysiology, in electrophysiology, the electrophysiology should be observed in ECG should be observed according to the plane, and the other things like cardiac electrophysiology and now electrophysiology, in which uh, the electric impulses are readed. So I end up my electrophysiology part and electrophysiology topic on this plane. So thank you. If you like it, then share, subscribe, and like, please. Thank you.